another edition of Becoming a Beekeeper from the Ground Up. Today I'm with my buddy Jeff, and we are going to show you how to put these grommets in the blankets that we use for wrapping our hives for overwintering. So stick around. I'm Rant, and
Jeff.
Welcome to this old hive. We are putting in these grommets in this blanket, and so we have a moving blanket. And you can buy these on Amazon. These are 40 by 72 inch moving blankets. They are weather resistant. That doesn't mean that they won't get wet, but they're weather resistant. I've used these for a couple years now, and they've been working very, very well. So we're going to be wrapping our hives with this blanket, and we need to put in grommets in the blanket. So we have these grommets are 1/2 inch grommets, and they come with the washers. Brass works the best. The nickel after time seems to rust, so I use the brass. Then what we have is we have a marker. You cut a 2.5 inch wide board, and then you mark where you are going to be placing your grommets. I have this set at 1 1/4, 8 3/4, and 18 inches. And when you lay this board down, you also mark it for the edge and for in. So you mark it on the edge also for the placement of the grommets. So you put this down like so on the blanket, take the marker, you draw a line, or you draw separate lines, draw a crosshatch line, and then we can put the grommets in. So that's just a little preliminary of what we're doing. We'll show that more in detail in just a few minutes. The next thing that we have is I have this machine that I bought because I have arthritis in my hands, and the hand one, I can't use the hand grommet installer. So I bought this machine and have it all set up with the right outfits, dyes, and stuff for putting in the grommets. You're going to need a tape measure. You're going to need either a black or a blue marker, and you're going to need per side. You're going to need 6 grommets per side, 3 on each fold of the blanket. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to make sure that the blanket is folded in half.
That's 40 inches.
Okay, and then we want to make sure that all the edges are even. Okay. And so now we have the blanket laid out, and we have it ready to put the grommets in. Okay, something I forgot to mention to you is that you're going to need 3 clamps. Either the wood clamps like this or the binder clamps. The big 2 inch wide binder clamps work really well for clamping this. And so we want to clamp this on the top up here to hold the edges. You're lining this edge up, and you want to make sure that you clamp these in a manner that you can get this unit, the grommets that are in. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is you want to lay your board that you've made. You've made this board, and you've marked the top like the previous photo showed. You mark the top. That top goes up towards the fold, and then up right to the top, and then the marks are where your grommets will be. So you want to take your marker and mark a line vertically, like so, and then you want to mark where your grommets are going to go, like so. Okay, take the board off, and then find your mark again and do a cross hatch like so. Okay, and so now you have the one side marked, and so now we'll use the machine to put the holes in for the grommets. Now at this point you can take your clamps off because they're just going to get in the way. The clamps are just to hold the blanket in place. So now what I do, some people will drive the grommet all the way through this material. I've had a hard time doing that. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just actually setting the hole in for the grommet. This machine works really good. Just like that, you heard it go crunch. And then you move it to the middle. Make sure that the edges are lined up together. And you punch the hole, just like a paper puncher. Okay, and you do the same thing, like so, in the middle. And there, now you have your holes punched. Then what you want to do is you want to remove the debris. Okay, just pull them out, both sides, inside and out, like so. So, my suggestion is to lay these grommets out the order that you're going to be putting them in. You have two sides to these. You have one that has a shoulder on it. That goes on the machine. That goes on the machine like so. Okay. And then the hole goes through the grommet. And so then you put the washer on, making sure that the shoulder is all the way through, and all you do is go punch, and you've got it set. Works beautifully. Now you're going to be doing 6 of them, so you just move it down the line, put the grommet on, okay, like so. And the washer, making sure that it's set on there tight and even. Sometimes you're going to hear it go punch like that because it will set it deeper. Just depends upon the thickness of the blanket. Now when you come to the top, you're going to have to unfold this like so, and you're just going to continue going down the line and doing one side. Now I've tried putting both together and punching the grommets through and sealing the grommets with both sides together like that, and I've had very bad success with doing that. So I just do one grommet. I do 6 grommets on the side and just be done with it. You're going to waste less grommets, a lot less frustration, and the grommets aren't that expensive. I think you can get these things at Menards, for crying out loud, for $5 for 100 of them, I think. So anyway, so just punch it in like that, and then we got to get some more here. Now I do hundreds and hundreds of these, so it might look easy to you, that it's pretty easy, but it can be challenging. Yeah. You have to make sure that you punch the holes deep enough, and there you go. There you see the grommets are all set in and ready to use.
And then we fold it back up.
Yep, and then just turn it over to the other side, and we'll do the other side.
And they all line
So
back
we'll
up.
be back when we get that done. A little bit here. So there. Now that's
Beautiful.
beautiful, just beautiful. All right, Jeffrey, hold it up and then people can see it. And that's what it should look like when you're done.
And then if you unfold it, you can see how they're spaced.
So now that you have the eyelets put into the blanket, let's put the wrap around the hive. It's a pretty simple process. The first thing that I want to tell you is that the folded edge is the top. And that needs to go on top with the sewn edge on the bottom. The reason why is because of drainage, the water drainage. if these do in fact get really damp and really soaked, it'll drain through the bottom. These are weather resistant, and I haven't had much of any kind of problems with them at all. It rained here last night, and the inside of the blanket is pretty dry. So anyway, so the folded edge goes on the top, the sewn edge goes on the bottom. The first thing that I do is I start with the top eyelets. I put the bungee through one of the sides, whichever way, if you're left or right-handed, put it through one of the sides, and then put the wrap around the hive, bring the bungee through the other eyelet, and then clip it onto the ball. That's pretty simple. Now, at this point, you can either put the other two in, the middle and the bottom in, or what I usually do is I take the blanket and I pull it up to the top of the hive. Once I get it up to the top of the hive, then I fasten the middle and the bottom bungees. And then, of course, you're going to have to adjust and stuff. Once you get it in place, it'll stay there just fine. These bungees hold them pretty doggone good. The next thing I'm going to tell you is about this strap. I put a 1-inch strap around it, and the reason why I do that is because a couple reasons. First of all, it does help to hold the blanket up. You don't need it for holding the blanket up. The blanket stays up just fine just the way it is. But the girls have a habit of coming out of this hole of the candy board, and so last year I did not have, at the beginning of the season, I did not have the strap on. So I noticed that the girls were getting down in between the blanket because it's much warmer there. When they go out on their flight, they'd come back and they'd end up trying to burrow themselves down in the blanket. So I put the strap up as close to the crease as possible of the fold over, and that'll help prevent that. With that, I think we're pretty much done with explaining about the blanket. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me in the last week or so, when is a good time to put it on? Here in central east Wisconsin, the rule of thumb is that you feed until Thanksgiving and you wrap for Christmas. That saying holds pretty much true every year. There are other years that it's warmer, like this year it's warm yet. It's 55 degrees out today. It's supposed to get up to like 62. Wherever you're at, generally, my rule of thumb is that when the temperature, daytime temperatures stay in around the 50-degree mark, and get down to around the 30, low 40, 35, low 40 mark, that's the time that I generally put my wraps on. So rule of thumb is feed till November, wrap for Christmas, 55 degrees or less during the day, and that's when I put the wrap on. So okay, I guess we're finished with that project. Hey, thanks for joining us today. I hope that this helped you out with getting your blankets ready for putting it on your hives for overwintering. We really like these blankets. They work very, very well. Have very good success with them. I'm here with my buddy Jeff today, and we're going to be making a whole bunch of them for his hives and for his overwintering process. So again, thanks for tuning in, and may your day be as sweet as your honey. We'll see you next time on This Old Hive.